Wake up, it's that time again. The sun's not here, but we're on again. Grab your coffee, grab your crystals and gather round. It's not lunch, it's not breakfast, it's the time we found. For brunch, well maybe we're busy. For brunch, maybe we're lazy. For brunch, well maybe it's conquest. For brunch, or a real request. But brunch is the time that we make for each of us, where we ask Egnards dumb stuff, because brunch will always be the special time for Egnards and for me.
Hello, welcome to brunch. I'm excited. Christmas is almost here. I don't know why I'm almost 40. I don't have kids. Anything I could possibly want, I buy myself. But still, it's a special time of year, and I enjoy all the pomp and circumstance and fun and excitement. There's not too much going on in the game, and don't tell my guild, but I quite literally have not even looked at TW yet. I just don't. Now that I can buy droid brains, I just don't even give a shit at all. Uh, like I just don't care at all. But we'll log in and we'll take a look in a couple of minutes and we'll see. From what I saw from the TW compare was that we probably are going to lose. What kind of sucks with this datacron thing is a lot of us didn't have time to roll our datacrons before TW lock, right? Because it got around like 8 p.m. is when they changed it over, and lock was at 2 p.m. the next day. I need time. There was a lot of datacrons to roll. It was the middle of a work week, so I have no attacker crons, tank crons. I have all level 5 crons for this stupid thing. Well, I guess that's partially my fault for not relocking just to get the old crons. But again, don't tell my guild that. Yeah, Bodhi, we do holiday TB. So tomorrow we'll start what we call holiday TB, and holiday TB is where we make no changes, where I do half of the tags that I normally do, and we get what we get, and we don't get upset. We might lose a star, we might lose 2 stars, we might lose 3 stars. I don't know. What we ask people to do is, if you have the time, you do the battles. If you don't have the time, just platoon harder than you normally would and deploy and go enjoy time with your family. So that is our TB goal for the next TB. And if we do great, we do great. And if we don't do great, we don't do great. That's just what it is. Daniel, I think we had a couple thousand rerolls. That's it. I've rerolled some of mine, but I haven't gone too crazy. Well, anyway, let's get into game, right? Let's get in game. Let's see what's going on. Let me at least do my dailies. The only thing is, we are never ever doing Hoth unless you mean the planet. In the planet in day 6. I mean all. Oh yeah, no. I didn't say Hoth. Did somebody say Hoth in chat? Because I didn't say that. We just don't go hard. I'm not sitting there babysitting people over the holidays. So if we lose a star, I just don't care. It's the holidays. That's just how it is. All right. So that I stop burning energy, let's pop on over to game. Get our stuff done for the day. Get our dailies done. I know we have double drops and we have triple drops coming up. I don't really know what I'm going to do with them right now. Yeah, somebody does always say do Hoth. Somebody said it in my guild too. They're like, why don't we just do Hoth because it'll be easier? Why? We'll get like shit for rewards. We could go get half of the stars that we normally do and do better. Who cares about the stupid achievement? Oh, we do have the raid we got to run today. I forgot my raid popped last night. It's not breakfast. It's brunch. Did I run my 5th battle? I don't know if I ran my 5th battle for this. So I got to run today's battle. And we're at that, again, that stupid point in Conquest where all my guys are level 45. So can't do anything. I can't get to the next level. I don't gain anything. And I'm just gonna have to wait for 2 weeks. It's not. Does this give me anything? No, it doesn't give me anything that I would care about. Because in a minute, this stupid thing is gonna like hit everybody and everybody's gonna die really fast. Oh, hey, look, everybody's dead. Ah. Let's, you know what? I'm gonna try it one more time, and I'm gonna hold off on doing the mass attack. Let's just see how that works. Maybe we wait till later to do that. Keep going after Vader, because Vader does shit for damage as a borrowed tune. All right, let's see if we can get one more turn before we do his special move. Nope, didn't really do anything for me. Everybody's dead. Wonderful. So we are at that fun time where for the next 2 weeks, I get 0 rewards from Conquest, or from Coliseum. Unless I spend, I think it's $12. Rank 39, of course. And I'm not rewarding them right now. Just do not care to reward them right now. We got for brunch, for brunch, for brunch. I've been looking. I've been on the lookout for MK3 holo projectors specifically with my MK1, but I feel like they've been appearing a lot less frequently, or I've just had really, really, really bad luck. Da, da, da. Special time for Egnards and me. Nothing here. But we could do that. Grand Arena. No. I am all over the place. You guys have seen me do dailies before. I like randomly click things. My brain goes all over the place. Xander, I am shaved. My wife came back on Friday. I actually shaved early because I hated it. I hated having this little raccoon on my face. It was bothering me. So I shaved it a couple days early. Because I didn't want to deal with it anymore. And the whole thing was an experiment to see if I liked it. And I just did not like it. Micah, I am, you know me, man. I am proud of anyone that gets the Poncho Bros to R9. So obviously, Sin, I am never proud of her because she doesn't love me enough to actually bring her Poncho Bros to Relic 9, where they rightfully should have been, like, I don't know, 8 months ago. All right. I have to do an arena battle, right? Well, let me see the quests. My dailies, episode quests. I'm done with episode quests. Character quests. I still don't have distracted 20 times. I still have 8. Which is ridiculous. You mean Relic 10, Zap? My opinion, I think I made my opinion on Relic 10 pretty clear in that video I did last week. I really think that people fundamentally don't understand that Relic Delta has less to do with Relic 10 and it has more to do with Relic 12. And I don't think it is that important of a thing for players to get unless you're at the very top end of the game. If you have important journey guide stuff still to do, then it is so highly unlikely that that Relic 10 is meaningful for you. Did I take my vitamin D? I'm out, man. I haven't been to a doctor. I gotta make because that was a special slow release once a week thing. So I gotta make an appointment and actually get to a doctor so they can prescribe that to me. But back on topic, you know, with Relic 10 as an end game account, I am taking the approach that obviously I have nothing left in the journey guide. So it's really all that I can buy. When it comes to corrupted signal data, I think that anyone who buys it with MK3 is being dumb. And I am specifically using anytime my fragmented signal data gets a little higher than everything else, I will then, you know, take about 50 of them and I'm just slowly building a horde, slow and steady, of corrupted signal data for when I need them so that I never have to buy them with MK3. I just think huge mistake. And I find myself constantly farming flawed signal data now, right? Which is not, even though the amount is higher here, is the worst possible thing that you can do. And I'll see if I can show you guys if you didn't see the video last week. Let's see here. Premium value charts are no signal data conversion rates. Let's pull this up. Shared. Where is it? Right, the cost to farm flawed signal data is high in terms of relation to corrupted signal data. So even though the conversion is almost double the fragmented signal data, the drop rate is so much higher that it's cheaper to farm this if you're looking for corrupted signal data. I would never, ever deconstruct flawed. Just a super important point to, you know, kind of point out. We're going to pop that back off. I have to do one quick thing that I realized that I did not do, and I need to. Let's go Yoda and Chewbacca. .gg. Got to check the numbers. Player data. Right now there are, interesting, 396,000 of them. So this is after Tuesday, Monday, this is Sunday, 396,000, 258. How many do we have at 7-star? We have 2,645. All right, perfect. Now I am not distracted anymore. Will me and Vex be meeting? I don't even, do we know where Vex lives? I don't know where Vex lives. Does Vex live close to me? Speaking of new icons, I don't know if you guys saw Fat Phil's new icon. If you go on YouTube, he changed his avatar. I made him a new avatar. He just had his 3rd daughter yesterday. He announced it on his Discord, so congratulations to him. Fuck him and everything else. But I had AI. I was like, let me see if I can take his logo and I can celebrate his new family members. And it came out pretty nicely. So I would go check that out. That was all me. All right. We have to, I guess, check TW. See what's going on. We're losing. What a surprise. I mean, I talk to Vex every once in a while. I was talking to him last week about something. I don't necessarily remember what. Oh, it had to do with like YouTube and noticing the lag that people were noticing and that I was noticing. The problem here with this Vader is I have no great crons for it right now because I didn't get a chance to roll them. So I don't know. I mean, we're losing anyway, so I'm just gonna throw shit and see what sticks. No, where's Jin? Jin. There she is. Because if Vex lived close, I'd go pop in and do a live video or something. I don't know. Yeah, I also, Nucha and I were making fun of each other, and I had some fun with his logo as well. We turned Nooch into Jar Jar Binks, which I thought was hilarious. Okay, well that's not doing shit. Brunch. The ultimate thirst trap. If I did not have self-esteem, Xander, you would definitely put me in that self-esteem camp. I would be building that self-esteem completely and specifically on you. If we could stop hitting Drogon, that would be cool. Maybe we hit somebody else. That would be cool. Alright, we can auto at this point. I want to get a Vexatron body pillow. Hey, Darth Link. Shadow. Delta saves us. Hopefully you're feeling better today. I know you've been down, man. I know. I'm down too. I'm kind of down on the game right now. Obviously, I think that a lot of the changes right now have not been communicated properly, and it has made a lot of us feel really bad, which does kind of suck. It is very annoying. Puts me in not a great mood, so I certainly understand. I don't know, I guess try this. You thrive in the dreary darkness of the wind. I mean, listen, if it's just a winter thing, then I don't think it's weird to be up. I think it's awesome. I personally, I like winter, but I like a nice big snow. We got like 3 inches a few days ago. It's already gone. Gonna get rid of Brutus. Borderlands 4 or the Swugga anniversary, man, that's tough. That's really tough, C squared. Borderlands 4 definitely has so crazily let me down, which is very sad because I've loved even the pre-sequel. I loved, but I definitely have not been feeling Borderlands 4. I think the Swugga 10th anniversary has me more disappointed just because I've been playing this game for almost 10 years now. And, well, I guess technically 9 years now. And it is such a big part of my life at this point, right? Because I stream it, because I talk about it, because I make videos about it. So being so negative about something that you like this much can be completely, really draining. And it's not, it doesn't represent who I am either. It's not how I like to be. I do like to be more pragmatic. I do like to be, you know, more thought-provoking. So feeling that kind of negativity has been very, very frustrating for me. Am I the only one excited to get 3x Omicron Trench today? Man, I've had Trench since he came out, and he does not have 3 Omicron. He has 0. 0 Omicrons. No Omicrons for Trench. It has nothing to do with the free stuff, Hobnob. I like, cool. I love the free stuff. I just think that there's been a lot of flubbing of things lately, and I feel as though a lot of it could have been solved, and a lot of it could have been fixed with just communication. And I really think that the way they handled this datacron thing was completely the wrong way. The way they've handled datacrons to me has been terrible, and it is going to be an awful 3 months of GAC with everybody having maxed crons. And even though I benefit from it, and I said this in the video, even though I benefit from it because I did not invest heavily in crons, I really feel for the people who have spent a ton of money and kind of didn't really get anything out of it other than other people catching up to them. So I know that that can be like really frustrating to those people. I know it can be really weird too to be like, think of the whales. But like, those are the players that make this game go around, and then they are the players that pay for the game so that I can play more casually. Of course. Everybody's stealthed. Why wouldn't everybody be stealthed? I'm not surprised by how many early and mid-game spenders there are, honestly. I think that, you know, they have opened the doors to really allowing players to spend more much early. And I think in that regard, that was a very smart move by them. I can't remember if the death mark is only GAC. Oh, good. Everything is... Why wouldn't everything be deflected? Every character I need not deflected is the character being deflected right now. Okay. I don't think I'm winning this battle at all. So I am going to do that. Oh, of course. Guess that was still stupid of me. Okay, it is. All right, good. So I did it stupid because I shouldn't have done it on kicks. How much time is left in the charity game? Give me till after this battle and I will tell you. Not much time. Well, the nice thing about Coliseum for those players is that you don't have to have a big account to compete. You just have to have a wallet. You know, so I think that that was a smart move for them to make. We have 4 days, 23 hours left in the charity game, Con Warlock. And a lot more people are finishing, so hopefully a lot more resources are going to be able to be shared between people. With Lightspeed tokens more frequent, do you think Lightspeed bundles are now worthless, as in shouldn't cost as much? I think Lightspeed bundles are cheap as shit. I mean, listen, I get that Lightspeed tokens are more ubiquitous right now, but I also think that the majority of Lightspeed bundles, you're talking about $20. Like, it's worth it. And it allows you to spend your tokens on other things. So no, I don't think so. I think that it hasn't devalued them at all. It just has really provided a very strong catch-up mechanic for people. Is there anything else I can do? Probably not, right? Let's make sure I have some mods not dying. At most, it's only the... yeah, so the $50 ones I could definitely see being decreased, but, you know, at the same time, a lot of the $50 ones are high-value characters that have a lot of chirotech investment, and some of them... well, technically, I guess it's 5 days, Con Warlock. But if you get to 17, that's awesome. And, you know, it depends on the holiday events, because I got to 20 in about a week and a half. Just from speed ups, just from buying speed ups. But, you know, we shall see. But 17 would be the last big feat before 20. 463, right? So I got to get rid of some mods before we start doing raid so that I don't run out of spots. No speed cell. Way less than 5 speed. This should give me enough. You know, my thing with... Hold on. Let me just look at this real quick. My thing with Maul is kind of complicated. I understand that the cost to get a journey guide was really like the R7s you had to get, but a lot of people already had a lot of R7s, or a lot of relic materials. So for them, it was free to do that. So I understand them trying to increase the cost there. I'm not actually angry with them increasing the cost of a new journey guide. I am angry that they did not communicate that until people had already invested 3 marquees worth of characters. So what really does piss me off there is that players were in a position where now they have this sunk cost fallacy of like, well, do I do this because I'm already 3 characters in? That is the thing that was really shitty. That is the thing that really pisses me off. And people should be mad about that. And people should be mad about that if you're free to play and not getting him. I'm not getting him. Well, I'll get him at 4 stars probably. He'll be useless. But I think it's something that people should be annoyed about. Because they expected a specific cost, and now they're kind of getting screwed out of that. I like my buddy Cap Snorlax. He is almost there. Obviously, I would love to get him to 100 today to do those other tiers, but he will be at 7 stars before the event is over, so I'm happy with that. And then, like I said, I'm going to have to wait 2 weeks because I can't... There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do to get to the next level without having to spend money, which is, you know, doesn't make me feel so great. I'm in a very, you know, with the game, and I said this before, I'm in a very frustrated mood with things going on. And when we think about like positive things going on, and I think about things like the Gungis, I'm like, you know, it's so much effort to do things like that, and I just don't feel in the headspace to have fun in those ways, to support a game in those ways where I really want to support this game, and CG, you know, put us in a position where 2 years ago they were starting to make everything cheaper and kind of subsidize things to a higher degree of players. And right now it feels like they're making everything more expensive again, except we are seeing a lot more early game spenders. So at the same time, it's like, I know there are more spenders. Why are we making things more expensive again? And that really is frustrating to me, as, you know, as a casual spender, as somebody who drops $20 in the episode pass every month, and who, you know, sometimes drops some other spending in there. Being offline a bit, could you be more specific on the mall thing? Basically, in order to get mall at 7 stars, you're also going to have to be at level 85 or 95. I can't remember which one, with all of your era characters. So that means that on top of spending on the marquees, you will also have to spend on era stuff. So the cost used to be about 120 to 150 per character. Now it's 120 to 150 per character, plus another 50 to 100 per character on the resources. So it was kind of disingenuous of them to do that, and I feel crappy about it. And yeah, Xander, spending on games like this, reducing time, I feel like time has just increased. You know, they told us, hey, Coliseum is 2-minute battles. Some of those battles take way longer. The 3 bosses, the Zepho bosses, they're so dumb that they sometimes take forever to do. And you just sit there and you run the second half of that battle on auto. You want your purple gear back in there. I obviously am not in a point in the game where that negatively affects me, but I do think that the majority of players should be buying Lightspeed tokens with their Coliseum stuff so that they can kind of skip all of that forever, like forever. 2025 worst year of the game. I think it was actually 2019 was one of the worst years for this game because there was no new content coming out. It might have been 2018, and there was like 23 marquees that came out. And I know players are like, well, 23 marquees is not a lot compared to what we get now. There was also a ton less gearing, and there was no marquee events like there are now. So it was hugely draining on the game economy to have that many. Whereas now we have more assault battles, we have more special events, we have Conquest, and we have better things with Rise of the Empire and better raid rewards, which allows us to support those 25 or so marquees. But I think it was 2018 that had like 23 marquees, and it really screwed the player base over. And they significantly reduced it in the coming years until they brought it back up, but also added in the economic infrastructure to be able to support that. I do think that 2025 is a pretty bad year for this game, like a really, really bad year, and it does significantly really frustrate me heavily. So best we can get on crystals only for marquee themselves is what, 4 stars? I don't have an answer, Nee, because I think you can go higher than that, you know, if you're talking about spending crystals to get characters to 5 stars or 6 stars, and then their stat modifier might give you enough to move yourself further. I don't know. People keep asking me questions like that, and because this is new to me as well, I just don't know. You know, that's just the way that it is. All right, we got to go back into the game. We do have the raid to do. I forgot all about the raid. It is what? We're at 40, let's say 41 minutes. Let's pop in. Let's burn through this. I really need to change this. This would make my life so much easier. Howie, we have no idea. You know, people are constantly asking me these questions, and I don't know. And those stars might be enough to get you higher than 65, you know, on those characters. But we don't know. We don't know. There's lots of things that we don't know. Will 2026 be better? We don't know. Oh, SM33, we love you. I love you. Is there a Christmas cat? I honestly, there's been so much stuff coming out that I have not really even been looking at the data mine. In the past, the only thing they've done for Christmas is double assault battles and packs that you can buy. So we will see. I don't even know if we're getting double assault battles, because we got double assault battles in November for the anniversary, for 10th anniversary, which we never get. But I hope we still get our double assault battles. Morning, Kimmy. Second breakfast. I haven't had breakfast at all yet. I haven't eaten. I have there's no food in my house. I got to go grocery shopping today before the Broncos game. There is a 14-day Christmas calendar. Okay. I trust you. I feel like in the past, you'd look in the data mine and there'd be 4 or 5 things. Now I feel like there's so much in there that I miss everything. I do think, Owie, that the next era will be better. I really do. I do think that they are going to take a lot of what we've learned, and they are going to make some changes that are more player friendly. I think that some of those changes they can't make right now, and it kind of sucks because it's 3 months that we have to wait. Double and triple drops coming, which is all signal data all the time for me. I think the 27th is triple drops, right? So the 26th and the 25th are both double drops. Is that correct? Does that sound correct? I was working, I will show you. I've been working on this thing. It's not ready yet because you know how you have an idea and then you kind of work on it and you realize the idea is way more complicated than it actually is. So I've been working on this double drops thing to figure out the best time to hoard and to show the cost per battle to getting certain rewards. But I haven't ironed out the kinks yet on it and on what I want. So I'm not 100% sure. It won't be ready by this time, but hopefully by next time if I figure it out. '25th double. Nothing on the 26th. That's weird because that allows people to hoard for triple drops. And that is something I kind of didn't really expect them to allow people to do. Well, don't say that. Not any change can be an improvement. That is something you have to be very careful about saying. They're going to come back and they'll be like, well, owie. And Xander, they believe this thing. We can find out how to make this worse. For brunch, ba-da-da-da-da-da, for brunch. Are we serious? Seriously, that didn't kill him? Okay. How's Relic Delta going for you in TBs? It does nothing for you in TBs. I told CG they need to have a different Relic Delta modifier for TB and for PvP because people were kind of excited for it in PvE to speed things up, and it just doesn't do anything. You know, yeah, okay, day one, but I don't need to do day one. And if you do need to do day one, you don't have the amount of R9s that I'd have to make it faster anyway. It's a lot of bullshit. And in PvP, it's hard to tell if Relic Delta's causing me problems because the attacker crons have been so insane. Even the nerf has been really crazy. Feel like they didn't think. That is the motto, is we didn't think. Up some high utils. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Pulling up hot utils to get my clones in place. Well, you know, my biggest thing is I do think that CG is not the dumbest thing in the world, and I do think that they are, to some extent, smart enough to make player-positive changes. But I think, and one of my major criticisms here, and they do this every year, is they release something major right before they go away for the holidays. Like, they always do. They always do something big right before they leave. And it's like, why? Why are you doing this? Stop. You know, like everybody, like Meathead is on vacation right now, so he can't get the information out. And half of your developers are on vacation, so it's harder to code things. All right, let's go to the clones. Load the clones. Yes. Yeah, so Rise of the Empire was like right around this time. Which raid was it? I think it was the Leia raid. It was like right before Thanksgiving. They released their release timeline is so ridiculous. And then they're like, all right, bye guys, figure it out, have fun. Come on, hot utils. And there we go. All right, we can pop the raid back in, but did release Rote have issues? Yes, it did. It wasn't as bad. It was very playable, but there were some issues. I know, like, Scythe, like, there was some issues with some of the fleet combats. It was annoying. One of the things that was just annoying was that Scythe wasn't even released yet, but it was required in day one. There was a ton of platoon issues where they asked for platoons of characters, but those characters were actually required on missions on the same day. I don't know what that means. Oh, Chobo, I don't know how. What? Let's get Google Translate. Oh, again, cool. Okay, cool. That is my first comment in Russian. Sure. Why not? Agreed, Owie. I fully agree. I guess nothing here. Nothing here. Oh, right. I can do buy stuff here because I forgot to buy stuff one day. Let's get some of that. Some of these. Some of those. And back to the raid. Morning, Brian. Brian Richards. Keith Richards. Let's go, Scorch. Do that thing that you do. Oh, hey. No, that's all right, man. I just, you know what? I was confused because in our charity game, there are a lot of Russian players. And interestingly, those city builder games, they have like auto translations. So I was like, did somebody from the charity game come find me? Because I have been making a name for myself, making fun of all of the tryhard players, and just being a bumbling, rambling mess to everybody involved. So I was confused for a minute. Con Warlock, here's the thing. I never run out of shard shop currency. Ever. Never happens. I buy my system. I'll show you my system right after this battle. I understand what you're saying. I very much understand what you're saying. But let me show you my system after this. My goal is to always have a horde of G12 gear so that I can deconstruct it. So that I can just get GKs and everything else. I do not buy gear so much with Raid 2. I do buy it with Get 2. But my goal is always to try and keep my gear at about 500. And once I get to about 500, then, you know, if I need some pieces, then I will deconstruct it. I don't need impulse detectors right now. But for example, so these are all at 400 now because I burned a ton to make all those R9 things before. But my whole goal is just use everything so that I can deconstruct as much as I can. Shard shop currency, useless to me. I understand that, and I do that too. But I don't need shard shop currency. Like, shard shop currency just piles up. So I just use my shard shop currency. When I'm low on shard shop currency, I only buy the 360s. But I don't really need it. And I'm not going to really need med packs anymore, which is one of the things that I was constantly buying, because those were constantly in short supply. But now with Lightspeed tokens and with, you know, era characters and where those era characters are going to fall, I don't really need them. So I don't have to worry about buying those either. Do you need Tarkin R9 for that? Oh, I did the wrong thing. That was dumb. Do you need Tarkin R9 for that? Yes, you do. You do need Tarkin at Relic 9. I just translated, yes, you need Tarkin at Relic 9 to Serbian, and I'm not even going to attempt it. Does not sound like something that would come out properly, and I might tell you to go screw your mom or something by accident, so we're not going to do that. All good, man. You know, be rich is as long as it was helpful to you, then it's perfect, you know? Well, that's not gonna work now. Sometimes people are here, sometimes they are not. The nice thing about having the raid score that I have now is I don't have to max this raid anymore. I don't have to max this run. All I do is I refresh until I get the RNG for the early thing. Oh, that was stupid thing. That was dumb of me. I just do the RNG to get the beginning done. Could try. And if I only get 2 waves out of it, then I only get 2 waves out of it. And it's not a big deal. I feel like I'm doing this wrong. Why do I feel like I'm doing this wrong? Because I'm supposed to go for the other thing. I keep... My God. And I want to order 66 him. And then I need to get the stun from the other guy. Okay. I'm blanking on this. Fine. I was really hoping one of you would be like, please say it in Serbian, please. Please, please, Egg. Make us laugh with your terrible accent and attempt to read things. But now we don't need to. Okay. So, please say it in Serbian. We need to know if you could say it correctly. Okay, what clone do I hit with this ability? Do I go for the Order 66? Or do I stun the other guy? I cannot remember. Okay, so according to Google Translate, and I have no idea how to pronounce words in Serbian. Maybe, Evclid could tell me how off I am. But according to Google Translate, it is Da Putraban TJ Tarkin U Relikvje Devet. Okay, and then I go for this, and I have to get, and I'm not getting the stun off. Why am I not getting the stun off? No, you don't want to stun Apple or Rex. That's not what you want to do. You want to go for those two clones. That I know, but I feel like I'm not getting the right hit that I need to be getting. You saw the Serbian film. This is really, it's damaging my comm that I cannot remember this, and I do it every week. Okay, so that's what I thought, Adis, and they're telling me I want the Order 66. I was like, that's not working. Thank you. And then I want to go for this and get, there we go. I got it. Thank you, Adis. God damn. Then I want to go for the second one. I don't know why I was blanking on that today. And you, no, Adis, you are correct. I just, for some reason, I was not getting it to work, and I couldn't figure out why. Adis. Adis is a very smart person. That is why they are in my guild now. Because I take the smart ones. Okay, let's get you down. This. That is, no, the reason I rejected you, Sin, is your GP and your raid score. So really there was a lot of reasons. And your lack of having everything or most things. I know, but I mean, to be fair to you, my guild's average GP is 13.7 million. Your raid score has not been fixed yet, as long as it's below 10 million. I told you, at 7 million, I would have considered you. Seriously. But it still would have been low. All right. And I don't care if I win at this point. Normally this sucks and I'd be so mad, but it doesn't matter. Because I've already maxed my raid score. No, they never said they were keeping raid enemies at R0. What they did say was that originally raid characters had an invisible relic level. And they just didn't show the relic level. And that they were going to put that in to be the level of the requirement for the battle. Well, Sin, you don't have Master Qui-Gon or Padawan Obi-Wan. And, like, I could not bring somebody into my guild who does not understand efficiency. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. Ani's going to have to deal with you. You're Ani's problem. Waiting for hot utils. Right. Fine. That's fine to say that I'm just having fun. But you're moving the goalpost here, right? Like, because you've never said to me, oh, I'm just having fun. And I understand you're just having fun with, like, First Order. But the reality is that if you want to play in a high-level guild, you need to be efficient. That's just the reality. You want to play in a high-level guild, you have to build your account like a high-level guild needs it. That is the rule. I have spoken. All right, we got one more we have to do. Well, the incredibly deep wallet will, I guess technically it won't be efficient if it's a deep wallet. And yet, you still don't have Master Qui-Gon or Padawan Obi-Wan at R9. Mic drop. That is a user moment. But user is not efficient, and user recognizes that user is not efficient. User pays me to be efficient for him with his inefficient spending. That's how it works. Yes, they are 7 days out, but you should have had them a year ago. Think of all of the R9 material wasted, gone over the last year. It makes me cry. I think you just need to own it, Sin. Honestly, Con Warlock, right now with the state of the game, I have kind of stalled on creative outlets of having any desire to work on the Gungis right now. I feel very frustrated by the game, and I feel very frustrated by the company right now. And the Gungis are about celebrating the game. So I'm really, really hoping that changes, because I need... Like, I need to feel that motivation to do the Gungis. Last year, we were heavily motivated. We thought it was so much fun. I need that to come back. Exactly, Owie. Think about all my members. My members would be like, why are you letting this person in? They're not helping us at all. And then I'd have to explain how I'm a hypocrite. And I am a hypocrite in many ways. I think we all are. I promote having fun, but at the same time, there's a certain level. Con, I'm not saying they're off the table right now. You know, I'm not. I'm saying that they're stalled right now. Because I would love, and I hope my motivation comes back for it. I hope that they make some changes that make me say, hey, I'm excited again. Because I really loved the Gungis. The Gungis are a lot of fun. But I just have not felt the motivation right now to work on them. Because I feel like the game has just been going in a really weird direction. I hope it changes, because I was looking forward to, and C Squared and I have been talking about things, and a lot of us have been talking about things for the Gungis. As for fuck Bad Batch in the raid, I think Bad Batch play very boring in the raid, but I think they're also still very good in the raid as long as you know how to use them. There we go. We've got through it together, you and me. I didn't say you're a bad guildmate, but you would be coming into the game unable to contribute to the level that you'd be expected to. Right? My expectation, if you're already in the guild, now our raid just started. If you were in the guild before this raid started and your raid score sucked, then we're not kicking you unless you're not building at all. But I don't bring anyone into the raid that's or the guild that's under 10 million raid score at this point. How are they outside the raid? I like them in 5v5 against against Quadme. Is that going to work in this 5v5 with Attacker Cron? No idea. But I have liked them in GAC. Scorched Earth. DTC mall combo is kind of crazy. Interesting. Scorched Earth policy to celebrate the holiday season. You relicated the wrong echo from that sucks. Oh my god. We've had people confirm. They're like, just to confirm, you want GNOs in soldier, not spy, right? Zap, I did a video on it. It makes them feel bad as hell in the raid because outside of the Relic 9 tier, a lot of their stuff is not there. But they're still very reliable if you mod them correctly. All right, we got to go back to hot utils so I can remember to put on my regular raid stuff. I'm surprised my Stormtrooper Luke is as high as he is. That's interesting. I think I bought a 5-pack maybe? I don't remember. Okay, let's load our base loadout. There we go. Are they worth... I mean, it depends on where you are in the game. It definitely depends on where you are in the game on whether they're worth it or not. I think they're a worth it team. Is there more of the game than the raid? Yeah, of course. But one person coming in does not fundamentally change my stars in TB. And doesn't fundamentally change whether I'm going to win TW or not. Right? Those are guild-wide efforts. TW, we just don't give a shit. We don't care. We give 0 Fs. Like, as long as you attack and participate and we lose, fine, cool, whatever. Nobody cares. TB, one person coming in maxing waves doesn't change our stars at all. But one person contributing highly in the raid can change our raid box. If people, if 3 or 4 people are busy that week, it can fundamentally change my raid box. And that does happen, especially around the holidays. So everybody needing to do at least 10.5 million, helps us to make sure that, with some of us doing 18 million, there's like 4 of us doing 18 million and a bunch of us doing 16 million. It allows us to make sure that if a few people are unable that week to do something, we still get our max box. And that's really important. It's more important than anything else. We have a lot of people in TB that do really well. Well, we're getting better at TB. There was a lot of lazy people who are getting less lazy now that it's easier to relic things. Let's see. No, I don't have any Lightspeed tokens. I'm looking forward to some of these just to bring characters Zetas up. I don't give a shit if we miss out on a bonus zone. Here's the logic doesn't work out, because if 2 people miss out on a bonus zone, right, then I lose 90 get 2. I don't fucking care if I miss 90 get 2. But if we miss the top box of the raid, I lose quite a lot of raid 3, right? I go from 8770 to 6770, so I lose 2,000. Now, when it comes to bonus zones from Mandalore and for Zepho, I need 30 out of 50 battles. So that gives us a 20-person buffer. But yes, I expect people to have those things. I expect you to have Bo-Katan at 14 million. And that's around where we recruit, is 13 to 14 million. I expect you to have Bo-Katan. I expect you to have Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. If you don't have those things at 14 million, like, I don't even have to look for those things at 14 million. Those are things that just people have. It would blow my mind if somebody didn't have those things at that level. But at all levels, there are a lot of people when I've been recruiting and I look at accounts, I'm like, wow, this person has 15 million GP and they're doing 1.7 million in the raid. Why? And most of the time at that point, it just comes down to apathy and they're happy being in a casual guild. Smooth Butter, I agree with you. I do think that the system is going to change a little bit for the new raid, and we're going to have to kind of adapt to that. Do you expect TB Omicrons? No, I don't. I don't expect people to do any Omicrons for anything. I don't care about your GAC. I know GAC. Well, when I look at people, I try not to recruit outside of Kyber, because if you're in like Chromium, it tells me you're more of a casual player. I don't actually care if you win a lot in GAC, but I don't want a casual player. TW, we ask for maybe 1 or 2 TW Omicrons per year. When it comes to TB, I don't even look at waves. I don't. Some guilds have spreadsheets where they track every player's waves. I don't do that. I don't do it at all. I just don't care enough. I spend so much fucking time playing this game. Right? It's Sunday morning. I've been on for an hour and 15 minutes right now. I'm going to be on here for at least another hour. And then later I have to do stuff in the game. And then tomorrow I have TB. And I spend so much time in the game. I don't have time to babysit people. I don't give a shit what your waves are in TB. What I do care about is that you're doing the bare minimum, which is deploying. And if we do miss a Zepho or we do miss a Mandalore, then yes, I'm going to look to see who did not do those battles, because those are priority battles. And those people are going to get talked to and possibly removed if their answer is an answer that is kind of rude or apathetic. You know, we have gotten rid of people in the past. We had one person who was consistently getting their deploy in at like 12:58, and their response would always be like, "What's the issue? I'm not late. I got it in." And they got removed because the issue that had been explained to them is that they consistently do it, that there's no reason for them to do it in their schedule. And what it forces me to do as an officer is to be on my phone for 3 hours, constantly checking my phone to see if a deploy has happened. And it's just rude. So those kinds of things I am a stickler for, is don't waste my time. Whew. Okay. Let's pop this over here. I don't need that. It's almost like I have 2 other jobs. And I have to spend time at my job sneaking off to the bathroom to like run the bot sometimes. And it's fucking annoying. Like really, really annoying when I have to do something like that. For a bunch of adults who like know better, you know, who know. I never said you're wasting my time. I didn't say that, but I've now transitioned the topic towards the things that piss me off in guild, that do cause removals. Right? It annoys me when I have players who consistently, we're gonna pop back to the single camera. We can just keep talking. It annoys me when I have people who are constantly like on a Thursday, they will, I know, I read the rest of your comment after, who will be like, "Oh, I got pulled into a meeting. Sorry. Dude, you know me. If you get pulled into a meeting and you know that you are not, if you know there's like a 50% chance that you're not going to have time to do your battles, if you just deploy, I don't fucking care. Just do that. If you know that every Wednesday is your hardcore day at work and you very rarely have time to do battles, fucking when you wake up, just deploy, right? Just deploy. I don't fucking care. Just do it. I've told people that we are a hardcore casual guild. And what that means to me, a casual competitive guild, is that we play hard, but sometimes life comes up. Sometimes some things happen, and that's fine. And if one day a week is your really rough day at work and you can't do battles on Wednesdays, deploy at 6 a.m. when you get up. I don't care. I don't. Like, it doesn't bother me. As long as it's not every single day, every single time, that's a problem. If you tell me that this week something's going on in your life, we have a member right now who has a very unfortunate family situation going on. And he's like really worried. He messaged me, he messaged the guild. He was really worried about participation. And I told him, dude, deploy and platoon. Deploy and platoon. Literally worry about nothing else. I understand you have this crazy family situation going on right now. Deploy and platoon. Stop worrying about the game. Do the bare minimum for a week or two until that situation is taken care of. You know, just like, it's a game. It is a game where we all want to do better. It is a game where we all want to be stronger. It is a game where we all want to advance better and faster, harder, better, faster, stronger. But it is a game. And at the end of the day, there are certain situations in life that you just have to say, this is more important. All I ask for is communication. All I ask for is communication. Literally, all I ask for is a message that touches base with me and either proactively says, hey, this is coming up and I'm not sure if I'll be around, or afterwards you say, man, listen, I'm sorry this happened. Here's what's going on. Cool. You know, that's life. I'm very easygoing. The people in my guild who are in this stream right now, I only saw Adis, but I know there are some others. I know Z-Dad sometimes lurks. I'm super easygoing, like way more easygoing than people would honestly realize. Just checking. Home stretch. Just want to type this out on Discord. Okay. Yeah, see, Adiz can confirm, right? Like, people message me from my guild, and I'm like, I don't care. Right? When I'm not logged into the game, I'm thinking about things that are not the game. I'm thinking about whiskey. I'm thinking about beer. I'm thinking about the Broncos. I'm thinking about family time. I'm thinking about things that have nothing at all to do with the game. All right. With all of that said, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to fill up my cup. We're going to go into roster reviews, right? And maybe, if we're really lucky, we'll have time for EgDraws today.
Roster reviews. Egnards is having a break and taking a roster reviews. Talking to me that what packs egg should sell to you. Ooh, to you. To you.
Okay, there we go. Now that we have gotten past my rant for the day, let's get into some reviews. Let's see what we got. We're actually catching up on them, which is nice. This one is from 11:30 though, but there hasn't been as many in the last couple weeks, so it has been great. 20 minutes without fail, and you'll be happy. But I damn well hope that I don't have to, Sin, and I won't be doing that next week. But let us move into our reviews for the day. I've pulled this up first so that I can't actually see this first one. Did he tell you to sell us a DTC pack? He did not, but you know what? Buy DTC. Are we ever getting only egg again? Only egg was last year's joke. That was our April Fool's joke. You know, will we have another April Fool's joke this year? Yes, of course. 2 years ago, me and Kazgul switched places on Reddit. I wrote his post. He wrote my post. Last year I did only egg. Next year I do have an idea. We'll see what happens. Your 2-week alt account, I'm not going to be able to help with that. Disguised the clone, Sin. So we have Eastward Cobra. What time is it? Showtime, like I said. 1:20. Let's just do 1:28. 1:28 for Eastern Cobra. Eastward Cobra. 50-50 Leviathan Executors. I managed to get first place every day. Assault battles look to be all in check, except Duel of the Fates, Pretty Patroller. Both R9. Fanatical Devotion is CT1. Currently finishing up Tarkin and Scorched R9. I'm really close to BKM and GL Kenobi. I'm unsure which to do first. I'd love to do Pico soon as well. Are you dead set? No. 80-20 efficiency versus fun. Are there any favorite characters you want to prioritize? Pico. Shards for important Proving Grounds characters. Luthen and Queen are the only ones missing. They will be unlocked after this current conquest. Yes, it's on Google on purpose so that I could hide this person's account so that I could guess. I am going to say, based on where they're at, that their account is around 9.5 million, right? And wow, okay, 11.25 million. I honestly think that it is mind-blowing, and we went on this rant before, but I honestly think that it is mind-blowing to be above 10 million and not have Padawan Obi-Wan and browser history reveal. I don't really look up things on my computer, honestly. But I really think that at this level, 11.25, not having Master Qui-Gon and Padawan Obi-Wan is insane. It's just so many materials that are currently being left on the table. Yeah, no, Sin, you don't get to talk about BKM, not having BKM at 11.25. You don't get to do that. Because yes, it is crazy not to have BKM at 11.25, but you still don't have Padawan Obi-Wan or Master Qui-Gon either. And it just blows my mind anytime somebody at this level doesn't have that. Now, again, it's been about 20 days. So you do not. I didn't say BKM. You have to listen to what I said. We really need a jingle for the ponchos bullying. It's been about 20 days. So let's just check this out. So it looks like Padawan Obi-Wan is now Relic 8. Or maybe he was always Relic 8, but because Master Qui-Gon's still Relic 7. I don't actually care about the Peridia Patrols. I think it's a mistake not to do it personally to Relic 9, but I understand people have mixed feelings. Here's the thing. Now that droid brains are craftable, I think that droid brains and keypads are equally as important. So getting one or the other is no longer like, oh man, I didn't get the one I want. Obviously, with Peridia Patrol, there's Omicrons in there too, but you went from 33% of the things being amazing to 66% of the things being amazing. Great. No, it's not, because it takes about a year without a year. Nothing. A year is nothing in a game like this. It takes about a year with no refreshes to make back your materials. A year, nothing. And you should be refreshing that. So it should take about 6 months to literally fully regain your materials. That's insane. That's so crazy how amazing that is. It's so easy to justify. So easy to justify. You have to look at timelines. Oh my God. Let's see. What else we got? We got 1, 2. When do we get the Assault Battle Omicron? We don't need it. Relic Delta is the Assault Battle Omicron. I didn't say you suffer from needing R9 mats, but I said you'd have made those back very easily so that you can do other things, like bringing all of your First Order to Relic 10. We got Lord Vader, Rey, Jabba, Leia, Supreme. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're missing Ahsoka, Pico, and we are missing Jedi Master Kenobi. So Be Rich, I actually have been talking to somebody about that recently. The mod tier on the Padawan Obi-Wan thing. I have not made my mind up on it yet, but I've been heavily talking to someone who has done a lot of math on mods who would agree with you. And I am planning to put together a video with his permission already granted. But I would agree with you in this new order that we have going on right now. Now, our ships. We have all of the important ships. Okay, let's check it out. Let's see what we are doing here. Jedi Master Kenobi is right there. It's really just Cody, Clone Sergeant, General Kenobi, a little bit on Yoda. Yes, Billy Robertson, unless they change something, Elite Marquis also are starred with crystals. Great Mother was starrable with crystals. Bo-Katan. So this is all relic levels. Okay, Ahsoka and Pico. Let's see. We are still doing some shard farming for Pico. We are not doing as much shard farming here, but these guys will be... General Syndulla and Huyang will become accelerated. Plus, there, I think, are some packs that will be useful with them. The Lightspeed tokens. Plus, you have the Ahsoka event. And because Sabine is relic, or not relic, is 7 stars, you'll be getting free shards of Syndulla and Huyang as well. So that will be a little bit quicker than going for Pico. He's the only one. That's me and Yoda and Chewie, Billy Robertson. Now, okay. So if we're talking efficiency versus fun, right? Pico is your fun farm. Okay. All right. So when it comes down to what you should be doing right now, Duel of the Fates to me is non-negotiable. They need to be Relic 9. Hands down, needs to happen. Now, my personal path here of what you should be doing is I would be finishing General Kenobi, then going to Bo-Katan. Then I'd be doing Ahsoka while slow farming Hondo shards. Right? So as you're finishing and doing Ahsoka, you're just doing 5 to 10 battles, really 5 battles a day to get these pirates up so that you can move right into Hondo. I would say go directly for Hondo if this was 4 months ago and we didn't have the Ahsoka event. But I think that the Ahsoka event is a really important event for players who are approaching the end game. And because you're a little bit further behind on the shard farming for these guys, you can use the time going for Ahsoka in order to shard farm those guys. Yeah, I'm surprised you have Jedi Master Windu. You have Balin. That's good. Jar Jar, I care about, but you don't need to care about right now. I think that when it comes to Kenobi and Bo-Katan, it's kind of weird because Bo-Katan, there's a lot of options for her in GAC now for her use. But Jedi Master Kenobi is a GL, and you are actually closer to him than you are to Bo-Katan. So it kind of makes sense to just bite the bullet and start that ticket farming. Kind of pushing Jedi Master Kenobi after you finish the Pancho Brothers. You know, as you start to move into Bo-Katan, you are shard farming for Tano, depending on your Lightspeed tokens, because I don't have that up right now. Which ones are coming, which ones already came, what you invested in, what you didn't invest in terms of getting characters to 7 stars for Ahsoka. But we want to move directly into Ahsoka. I don't think, honestly, that you will have to do anything more than slow farm shards, even if you're not applicable for any Lightspeed tokens that you haven't already spent or applied towards this, because you do have some relicking that still needs to get done. But I would start that slow farming as you're moving into your Bo-Katan farm. And the same thing as you're transitioning out of your Ahsoka, that is when I'd go for Pico. If your Pico didn't need so much shard farming to be done, I would say go for Pico before Ahsoka, especially because it's a favorite character of yours. But because you still have a lot of characters, I don't actually think that it will fundamentally slow you down getting Ahsoka first. I think it'll just help you to be more efficient in working towards those materials, if that makes sense. And sometimes the things that I say don't make sense. But that's what I would do. And Pancho Brothers first. Always Pancho Brothers first. Almost always Pancho Brothers first. Where you are in the game, you should be doing Pancho Brothers first. We're going to move on to ShadowZebra. Take off Zebra, baby. 139. We're going to stall for 20 seconds or so while we wait to see, so that this person doesn't miss, because then it makes my life easier. All right. ShadowZebra. 50% are executors, no other GL fleet. So this is a newer account. No, but I get first place every day. This person, Rebel Roundup. A lot of these are at least CT1. Forest Moon is up there. Rebel Roundup is up there. There are only executors in this person's fleet shard, so this means they're an earlier game account, and they have the Pancho Brothers at Relic 9, so I already put them higher in my rankings than Sin. Currently working on Jabba. This was about 20 days ago, so Jabba might be really close. Peridia Patrol is about 2 to 3 months away. Moving on to all these in no specific order. Zephyr Ready, Reva Ready, Bo-Katan, Mandalore, SLKR. Let's check this real quick. Press C to confirm. Yes, okay. Are you dead set? Probably, but would like your thoughts on where to go next. 100% about efficiency. Any favorite characters? No. Just started Proving Grounds in October. So this account is probably around like 5 million right now. 104 on the Stranger, 80 on Quad May, 70 of 330 on Boba Fett, Scion of Django. Nobody gives a shit about Boba Fett, Scion of Django. So again, I think somewhere around 5 million, 6.1 million. Probably has made some purchases in that time, or at least with all of the free stuff that has come out, has moved ahead. We have Leia. Interesting. Leia as a first GL. I want to check on some of our assault battles. Not there yet. Ground War is our Jedi one. Really do need Jedi Knight Luke to kind of advance and push that one. we may care once Sign of Django gets the lifter. Probably not, unless it makes him better outside of TW. But you're right, Daniel. You are right. We might care. Secrets and Shadows. Don't worry so much about Secrets and Shadows. I want to check out your Prettier Boys just because you said you were working on them. Your Prettier Boys are at Relic 1-ish. I think I would keep your Prettier Boys at Relic 5. Okay, so Enoch is 6, Night Trooper is 5. I think bring Death Trooper to 5 to get that benefit for now, and then hold off on advancing that further. You do have more important things to do. Your guild is a 355. Gear tracker. You have... Did I just not see Jedi Knight Luke in there? Oh, he's not geared up yet. Because if you take Jedi Knight Luke to like Relic 7 and you put all no speed mods on Jedi Knight Luke as the leader with the Omicron that allows for speed limiting, and then you put him into Ground War with, you know, Jedi Knight Revan, with Hermit Yoda, with General Kenobi, so you have a nice tank in there. And then I would probably say Shock T because the Dispel can be useful. And you make Hermit Yoda as fast as you possibly can. You probably can do Ground War by always using the Called special ability so that Jedi Knight Luke can slow each wave, and finishing each wave with that ability so that Jedi Knight Luke starts each wave so that the enemies take no turns. So just something to consider is getting Jedi Knight Luke up to about Relic 7 pretty quickly. Let's see where we are here. Profundity, you are right there. I'm assuming you bought the Lightspeed bundle for that, so that's really nice. Finish Profundity, get that out of the way. Awesome, beautiful, love it. Jabba is very, very close. JML is very close. You already have Leia. Bo-Katan is not really started yet, but I think there is, it seems like they data mined a Lightspeed bundle for it, but we don't have a date for it yet, right? If I remember correctly. Zepho, Cal Kestis, okay. Reva ready. All right. This is not actually that hard, I think, but where is Grand Inquisitor? Okay, so just keep in mind that Grand Inquisitor, there are going to be a bunch of Lightspeed tokens for these guys in January. Now, you already have them at Relic 5, but those Lightspeed tokens do give the Zetas. So I'd strongly recommend waiting on Grand Inquisitor until all Bo-Katan bundle is already in the store. Nice, okay. It's already in the store, Bo-Katan. I don't see it in the PC client. Maybe it's only the web store that Bo-Katan is on. Let's see. Let's check. And technically, I don't really know if this person is a spender or not. I'm just assuming that they're a spender based on what I'm seeing. Let's check. Web store. Characters. I don't see it. I see. Is it one that you don't see if you have them already? Because some of them you still see even if you have them. You know, like the Din Djarin Lightspeed bundle I see in game. So that's, they must have changed that so that you can't buy it, because in the past you could. But anyway, it's available as of today. Okay. I'm assuming that you're going to purchase it based on what I've seen. But I am going to give advice as if you're not going to purchase it. Grand Inquisitor, I would wait on until after all of the Lightspeed tokens that are free from the anniversary in January, because you'll be able to get all of these Zetas for free, which will be really, really nice. That's kind of the time that you're going to want to go for being Reva ready. Profundity is right there. Finish up Profundity. finish up Jabba. I would strongly recommend going for JML because you already have Leia, Profundity, and Jabba, and that's the 3-tier character there, right there, where there's like, well, you have 3 out of the 4 corners is what I should say. So you want to get that 4th corner of viability, which is Jedi Master Luke. So I'd finish Profundity, finish Jabba, finish JML. At that point, it makes sense to go for Cal Kestis because that's going to elevate your JML. You can't check gift instead of PC on the PC client, unfortunately. There is no gifts on PC. At that point, I would go for Cal Kestis first, unless, of course, you buy the BKM bundle, which is either out today or is coming out today. And in that case, you have it because you've made that purchase. But I think hold off on Grand Inquisitor for now. Finish Profundity, finish Jabba, finish JML. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis is more important than Bo-Katan right now for you, depending on your spending for that. At that point, I would do, I would be thinking about getting the Grand Inquisitor. And, oh man, you're so close to Kylo Ren, though. I'm going to amend my entire plan. I'm going to say Profundity, Jabba, Kylo Ren, then Jedi Master Luke, then Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. Grand Inquisitor will fit in after January once you've gotten all of those free Zetas. Bo-Katan Mandalore you do afterwards unless you buy the pack. If you buy the pack, then you do it right now because it makes sense to buy that right now. Your plan is not bad. It's just I would, obviously shift the order around to make sense of the things that right now are kind of coming to the game and the shared requirements. They made the Fury Class a gift LSB. I begged my guild to send it to me and I'll send them one. Nobody? Interesting, Roberts, Billy. Because in my guild, we do that all the time. I set up whole things, right? I tag everybody in the guild and say, hey, who's interested in buying this? And I set up like duos of people going back and forth and doing that if they want to. We're going to move on from there because I think that says exactly what we need to say for this account. Let's move on to Bates Motel, which was on 12/5, which is nice because we're catching up on days. 149 in the stream. Bates Motel 12, 50, 25, 25 Executor Profundity Leviathans. I share a payout with one other, and we just let whoever gets first get first. That's what I do. Me and my person who share the payout. It's just whoever gets first, and neither of us really cares. Hey, Starmay. Star May Cry. Star May doesn't sound right by itself. Star May Cry sounds okay. Assault battles are mostly CT2. You can grind all Proving Ground characters all at once. Currently working on Profundity since I was close and unlocking Still Star Killer because I plan to unlock the Stranger in March. Then current plan is my Relic to Revan teams and Great Mothers Pretty Pals for assault battles. Then move on to Jabba, Leia, JML, BKM. Possible plan to quickly farm Reva ready since we will get the Inquisitors for basically free in January. Not particularly dead set. Would like your thoughts on where to go next. Current plan is to be close to unlocking Jabba by late March due to the free Lightspeed tokens. Okay. This seems like earlier. I'm going to say, I've been very off today, but I'm going to say like 6.5 million. Pretty close. This is not bad. Have Executor right now. We're close to Profundity. We have nothing on Peridia Patrol. I would not worry about Peridia Patrol right now for your account. And even your Duel of the Fates, is a R7 right now. Because you're only 6.5 million, I don't think it's a priority to get them to Relic 9 just yet. So I think you are good there. Jabba will get you Rebel Roundup, which is nice. Forest Moon. Let's check on your Imperial Troopers. Troopers, Veers, Stark, Yeah, no, maybe I'm not going to do that there. Military might, rebels. You have Mon Mothma. You have CLS, Han, Chupio, Chewie, and C3PO. This is a modding thing. These guys can do CT3 as long as you mod them really, really fast. It seems like your mods are not terrible. It seems like you at least understanding modding. A lot of people don't understand modding, so that is good at the very least. No Mommy Mothma yet, though that does make that easier. It's not something I would recommend doing just for that. Ground War for Jedi. Revan. I think with where our Jedi are right now, you're probably pretty good. So let's see how close to things we are. Tools, gear tracker. I honestly, I hate modding too, but it's such an important thing in this game. Moving for Star Killer. Grand Inquisitor is your freebie. Jabba's pretty far, but you're going to be getting a lot of Lightspeed tokens for that. Profundity is very close, so that's very nice. Oh, you do have Mommy Mothma. I must not have seen her. So here's the thing. On Military Might, if you do CLS, Chupio, C3PO, Han Solo, and Mon Mothma needs 0 Zetas. I saw people do it with 0 freaking mods on her. Run the event special on all of the characters and just hit auto. For Military Might, you'll thank me later. Profundity is kind of close. Kestis, Leviathan. We are pretty far off from things. Okay, so we're going for Profundity. Cool, great, good, great, awesome, right? You're going for Star Killer because you are getting the Stranger. So awesome. All right. Revan, Great Mothers, Peridia Pals for assault battles. I personally do not think that Secrets and Shadows is worth getting past CT1 until you are ready to fully invest in the team for outside of it. And even though Great Mothers is a great team, I think that you have more important fish to fry than moving your Secrets and Shadows from CT1 to CT3. Because you have Profundity, because you're getting Jabba with all of the Lightspeed tokens, or you're going to have Profundity, because you're going to have Profundity, because you are going to be getting Jabba with all of those Lightspeed tokens, and that's going to be towards, March, you've already hit 2 of the corners for the square we were talking about in the review previous to this one. JML is a little far off, which is rough, but some of these things, Jedi Knight Luke would really help with your ground war. And, well, Leia's pretty far off, too. My Revan. Yeah, I think finish Profundity and Star Killer, because those 2 things have to do with very specific things you're planning right now. Finish Grand Inquisitor, because that'll happen around January once you've gotten the Lightspeed tokens from that. After that, finish Jabba. That'll be around March. And then I honestly think do the JML Leia thing after that. I don't think it is smart for you to go for Great Mothers right now. I know some people are really suggesting going for Balin early. I strongly don't agree with it. I would say that JML and Leia are far more viable for your roster right now. Peridia Patrol, not super important for you right now. You need to be in that core gameplay loop of unlocking the journeys so that you can do more. So after all of that, let's see. Do you have Cal unlocked? I'm assuming you have Cal unlocked because you have all of this. Jedi Knight Cal, yeah. Okay, so you do have Jedi Knight Cal unlocked. So then that doubly reinforces what I'm saying about JML. After that, I think BKM is completely fine. But I do think your plan is fine. Just I would personally ignore Great Mothers for now, and I would ignore Peridia Palace for right now. Couple of things. Billy Robertson, I do everything through Discord, and I do all roster reviews for tip money. It's if you can't pay, great, that's fine. People subsidize that by being nice, and like Platinum Rayo right there, just a nice $5 for Christmas. I appreciate it, man. Also a YouTube member. That helps subsidize people who can't afford a roster review. And people that can afford a roster review, I generally suggest like $5 to $10 for a basic on-stream roster review. Some people want something way more in depth. They want to like sit down with me for like an hour and take an hour of my time. And I charge by the hour for that. And we sit down on a call together. We knock things out. You know, it's really up to you. But if you want a regular stream roster review, just go through Discord. I follow them in order. I go right down, and my members can skip the line. But other than that, I try to stay on top of them, and we're getting close to being caught up on our roster reviews, which is nice. Right? We're gonna do one more for the day. That'll get us caught up to 12:16. So we'll be right into last week, which is beautiful. Valendras, 158. And Star May Cry, you got gas almost 2 weeks ago. What would you recommend to me? I would recommend that you go out to CVS and get Beano. That helps with gas. Or if it's been going on for 2 weeks, I think that definitely you should go see a doctor. They might be able to help you. But all jokes aside, I can't answer that question because I don't know your roster, but you've just heard me talk about on stream how to request those reviews. Moving into the last one for the day, Valendras. Top 20 is exclusively Leviathans. Are you coordinating, talking with your fleet? No, I don't know what this means. So basically, fleet discords. Fleet shards are characters who unlocked fleet around the same time that you did. And people realize they can game the system by talking to other people in their fleet discord. And they can coordinate payout times so that as many people get good rewards as possible. If you type in $fleet discord, no spaces, on our Discord, it'll pop up an old video that I did. It's a 4-minute video that explains how to become part of your fleet discord. I highly recommend it. Based on your assault battles, they're all at like CT1, and your top 20 being exclusively Leviathans, I'm going to say that you probably started this account like 9 years ago and came back to the game recently, in which case that kind of sucks because I would have told you to restart. Shramandoy, I strongly disagree with you. There are some fleet mafias out there. There are some fleet mafias out there that are really shitty. And I know like M3 is one. He's been messaging me about not being able to get into his fleet Discord. Fleet mafias are the worst. Everybody should be working together. But a fleet Discord helps everybody maximize everybody's reward. My fleet Discord, everybody's allowed in. Their only rule is you have to climb naturally. Nobody's going to drop battles for you. Nobody's going to put in a shitty fleet for you. You just have to do it naturally. Right? That's kind of how that works. And most fleet discords are like that. Most fleet discords are super helpful to players. It is the mafias that kind of make that bad for other players. Currently, I need to get GMY to R8. Then I get my first ever GL JMK. I wouldn't have recommended that for my first, but I mean, it's not going to be an efficient account. After that, the plan is to gear and Zeta gas at my 501st, followed by first order and pivot to SLKR. The anniversary Lightspeed tokens changed some things. Plan to use Lightspeed tokens for Poncho Brothers. Finally. Are you dead set? Not particularly. Would like your opinion. I'm pretty set on JMK, though. I am so close. 100% on efficiency. I've only been playing these last 2 months after 7 years away. Last time I played, JTR was meta and Treya Raid was new. Boom, called it, right? Are there any favorite characters? No. Shards for any important proving grounds like 20. Conquest is new to me. Thank you in advance when you get in this review. Advance for when you get to the review. It's very much appreciated. Most fleet shards you've heard of are mafias. They deviated from the original group power they were supposed to be. Sharamundi, I will tell you that it probably has more to do with a negative bias. People don't talk about positive fleet discords because they don't need to talk about positive discords. You know, like if your Discord is positive, nobody's going to talk about it. I talk to people, right? I talk to thousands of players. People contact me daily. I help tons of people. And I can tell you that the majority of fleet discords are not mafias. And the mafias are shit. Yeah, ours is, it's super, super light. You just unlocked Proving Grounds. I'm going to say that this is around like 4.5 million GP, 4.9. Now, you know, it's rough. Valendra, it's very rough because if I saw this 2 months ago, I would have said start over. And I still think that you would not be wrong for starting over. Because fleet is so important. Fleet is so important to a player to get those materials to be efficient. And you are going to be fighting an uphill battle against those Leviathans. You can win it with Executor, but it's a pain in the ass. Whereas a Leviathan versus Leviathan battle, not so bad. So we are going to treat this like you want to be as efficient as possible, even though it's hard for you to be efficient because of where you are, and we're going to do the best we can, right? Okay, only have Negotiator. I wouldn't say they're the most... Yeah, look, I really hate shard mafias. I think that they just are, I think they're dumb as shit. But most people I talk to are not part of mafias, and I really feel bad for people who are in those mafias. And I think those players are the worst. Okay, there we go. I know Z Mustang, but it's easier with Leviathan because you don't have to worry about... like it's basically an auto. Executor, profundity. Okay. Let's check out. Punishing one. Don't have Mark 6 even unlocked yet. Bones says I suck. Fuck Bones. Not the good kind of fuck. JMK is very close. JMK is very close. Let's see, anything else pop out? SLKR is very close. All right, let's see what your plan is. The plan is gear and Zeta gas and the 501st, followed by first order and pivot into SLKR. Okay, here's my plan for you. I would finish JMK because you're right there with JMK. While you are finishing JMK, I would go strong into starting to slow farm Executor. So all of the shards that you need, I would be doing punishing. I would actually even be doing 10 battles a day on punishing one. but I would be trying to, at a minimum, slow farming Executor, slow farming your executorships, and slow farming the Mark 6 Interceptor. Now, the Mark 6 Interceptor is a Cantina unit, which means you can do as many battles a day as you want without refreshes, but you don't have to do that. You can do 5-6 battles a day just to make sure you're still able to make progress. So while you are working on JMK, really start to work towards Executor. Once you finish JMK, which is going to happen very quickly, pivot right to First Order and to Kylo Ren, right? Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, you're literally right there as well. So you should be unlocking these two while you are starting your Executor farm. Then you really want to go all in on Executor, because you will be able to, with Executor maxed out eventually, with Mark 6 Interceptor, you will be able to start earning fleet crystals. And we really need you to start earning fleet crystals. Beyond that, Lightspeed tokens for Poncho Brothers, not a bad idea. Because I don't think you need really any of your Jedis or whatever. Or those ones will affect anything else negatively. I wouldn't bring them to Relic 9 just yet. I think R5 would probably be the best stopping point for where your account is. But I think that you really have to go gung-ho into and towards that Executor more than anything else. Beyond that, if you have gas already unlocked, that is when you should start Zetaing that team and start building out that team. That'll give you some respite from the big farms. Once you have finished that stuff, that is when I would say I would try to get into the Jabba, JML, Leia Profundity ecosystem to round out your account. And normally I would recommend JML as being the first one that you do, and it looks like you're a little bit closer on that. Jedi Knight Luke, have Wampa, make sure Rebel Officer Leia from the event all the time, the bounty event, make sure Hermit Yoda with Get 1. But once you've done those things, that's when I'd get into that ecosystem. Does this account have Cat? Yes, they do. I'm assuming they've bought that Lightspeed bundle because Proving Grounds is new to them. I think that that's it for roster reviews today. I want to respond to one thing really, really quickly. Billy Robertson says, my girlfriend won't let me on Discord. No big deal. I'm thinking of using my R6 7-star Lightspeed token they gave for free on Wampa because I feel Hodo will be part of the Jedi LST. Look, I don't know you at all, and I don't know your relationship, and I don't know your girlfriend. And I don't know if this is something that you did in the past that caused this thing to be said, or if it's her own insecurity. But I don't know how old you are. But I'm going to tell you that I'm almost 40. I know I don't look almost 40. I'm 38 and roughly a half at this point. And I have been through a lot of life. And I have dated a lot. And I've dated a lot of different kinds of people. My first girlfriend in college, my first real girlfriend in college was one of those people where we would go to class, we'd go to work, and then we were on the phone from 7 p.m. at night till midnight because she refused to let me off the phone. I dated someone who was a little bit older than me and was in a different phase of life from me. I dated someone a little bit younger than me and was in a different phase of life from me. I've dated very clingy people. I've dated very independent people. And I am going to tell you that right now, Discord is a chat app that you can either abuse or not abuse. I'm sure that there are things that you can abuse on there. I'm sure that there is some weird stuff on Discord. But to me, it is an insanely, insanely big red flag. I am not a boomer. I am an aging millennial. To be told that you are not allowed to be on Discord because of somebody else. If you said that your girlfriend and you don't, she doesn't want you watching porn, that's an intimacy thing, and that is between a couple. I would strongly reevaluate if it is worth it for you to lose that freedom, because it's not about Discord. It's about that freedom to make that choice yourself, to do something innocuous. And it sounds like a major, major, major trust issue. And if you did not earn that trust issue, then that's something that you really strongly need to consider. And I've been in very positive relationships, and I've been in very negative relationships. And just take that from somebody who has learned a lot in life, and would not let that fly myself, because it would not be fair. I remember once with an ex who I have talked about in the past. She was looking at my phone. I am somebody who does believe my phone is private. Who's a private person, and I believe that my phone is not something to be snooped on, and I don't snoop on my wife's phone or on my girlfriend's phone, even though I have nothing to hide. My wife and I, we pick up each other's phone constantly and like Google things because we trust each other not to snoop. But in this one instance with this girlfriend, I had her read this one message from a friend because it was funny. And like 5 minutes later, she was commenting on other text messages in that thread because she had scrolled up like 5 hours previously and was responding, and it got us into a fight about how I was hiding things. And it actually turns out that the thing that I was hiding from her was that she was somebody who was very artistic and wanted to do this line of things in her life. And I was coordinating with her best friend to have a stuffed animal of one of her creations be made for her birthday. And I didn't want that to be spoiled, but it became a huge thing. So it was very frustrating. Billy, man, I'm giving you my advice based, I don't know your situation. You don't have to share that. You made mistakes. I get that. If there's something that you did to lose that trust, okay, I get that then. But I'm giving very general, very, very general advice based on my life experience. That's it, Nee. Like, my wife picks up my phone. She looks at my phone. She doesn't check anything. I trust her to look at my phone and go on the AMC app or to go on to DoorDash and not snoop, just like she trusts me to not snoop on her phone. Is she hiding something? I don't know, and I don't care. I trust her to think that she's not. Am I hiding something? No. We have one more segment that needs to be done today, which is Draw with Egg, which means that we need a Star Wars character. We need a Star Wars character for a Draw with Egnards. None of this like super fancy shit. Just give me a character. I don't need Han Solo juggling his balls and good Jar Jar's watching off in the background. Give me something fun, but not stupid. We will play the intro. We'll see what suggestions we have after that.
He sought inspiration from mankind's truest arts. Armed with trusty MS Paint, combined the greatest parts. He traveled all the world, went to Japan, France, and Spain. So when the light hits up his screen, we're asking once again, is it a masterpiece that's coming? Is it truly art refined? Or is it just the digital equivalent of shit we find? Egnards draws.
All right. Let's take, we don't need this up. I saw two that I liked a lot. I saw Droideka and Sarlacc Pit. Droideka and Sarlacc Pit are the front runner for me right now. As far as Darth Vader, we've done a Darth Vader very recently. We did Santa Vader. I'll pull them up so that you can see Santa Vader. So this was Santa Vader, which I think was last week. I don't necessarily want to do a hut right now because kind of the same Same thing. We did Jabba and Leia very early on. Yoda with a candy cane would have been a great idea too, but I'm kind of stuck on Droideka or the Sarlacc pit. Droideka because it seems very different from things we've done in the past. Sarlacc pit because I don't know, maybe I just want to draw a giant space desert vagina. I I think we're gonna go with Sarlacc pit today because Sarlacc pit seems like we can do this a little bit quicker than Droideka, and it just seems like it'll be funnier to me. We're gonna find oh my god, the underside of a Sarlacc pit. Ooh, that's from Star Wars Galaxy's Sarlacc pit. I remember fighting that thing or going to that thing and dying. Do I want to do it more deep or do I want to like pull from the top? Let's see, there's so many different sources to come from. I want to see every grain of sand. Okay. No, I don't like this source here. I think I'm going to use this. I think I'm going to use multiple sources from this. So let's go with, all right, we need to find a good sand color. This might be a good sand color. And we are going to start with the center circle, which is kind of like a red pink. I know it's just a dark pink, and that's fine, but it's kind of like, oh, something more like this, I think, in here. And we're going to make a circle somewhere. No, well, we'll get to the texture of the sand. We'll get there. Get a circle here. And we'll color in that circle. And in that circle, we're going to kind of looks like I'm drawing like a broken nipple. Okay, go a little bit lighter here. No, this is just one piece of it. Relax. Relax, we're not done. Here, got to give it a little bit of texture. Where's this red? So we want to go darker now on this red. Okay. Now we need like an outer circle around that. And the outer circle has kind of that sand color, but it's darker. Now a little bit smaller, I think. And kind of darken there. And we're going to do another layer on top of that. I'm going to make this one a little bit light. No, this is here. Make this black a little bit darker. You are looking at, we are attempting to draw the Sarlacc pit only using paint. Now it starts to get more brown than anything else. So we're going to get that same sand color. Well, no, we want that sand color, and we want this brown, but like darker. And let's do another layer of that. Starts to get a little bit bigger, a little bit lighter. This is where we start to get more into the sandy texture. So we're going to go back to our sand color. Make it a little bit darker now. I'm going to do more of a something like this. Like that. And then another layer of that. Here. The devil's anus. It's a cat's butt. Okay, now this a little dark. No, a little darker here. A little lighter there. Getting up towards the top now. We need to add some texture. No, we're going to add, no. Yeah, let's add the texture now. Here's our sand color. Here's our sand color. Get a little bit of yellow in there. Let's go a little lighter on the yellow. Okay, so this is the basis for our Sarlacc pit right now. Right? This is the goal of our Sarlacc pit right now. And we are going to draw its like teeth things. Let's do that with the pencil. Yeah. And the teeth things don't start down here. They kind of start here. baby Starlight teeth over there. And then it seems like they kind of come up to this layer. I really hope Sin is here today. I really, really hope that we get an AI rendering of this. Because his AI renderings are very funny. All right, so now we got to color all these in. All right, this section should be easier. Um, let's give him a little bit of yellow in those teeth. No, we're gonna keep it without the yellow because I feel like I can't do that without it taking forever. And then in Star Wars Galaxies, there's these tentacles that come out, and I want to do the tentacles. My other source does not have the tentacles showing. It is Japanese. I'm going to say the tentacles come out from here. Okay. This is going to suck. This is going to suck so bad. Forgot about the sand texture. Sucks. Okay, let's do these ones first so that it's easier. Okay, I think we got one more, right? I think we did it. It is a beautiful space vagina. What do we think? I think it's great, and I hope. And add the beak. The beak. Okay. The beak. The beak. I don't know if I can add the beak. Hold on. The beak is hiding. The beak is hiding right now. Yeah, I'm no, we're not worried about the beak. This is our glorious space vagina. I think it is beautiful. Let's see. We gotta. Oh, hey, there's somebody new playing the game. And Owie is over there too. So there is our space vagina. We are going to raid out if you are on Twitch. I want to thank you guys for joining me today playing the game. If I do not see you before the holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. I will see you before New Year's. So I'm not going to tell you Happy New Year's yet. Peace out. Have a great rest of your day.